So you may have seen that with Module 27 we'll be getting some new Insignia bonuses, particularly for 4-slot mounts. With regards to companions, we'll be getting Warlord's Motivation, which is a direct upgrade from what we had before with Warlord's Inspiration. So Warlord Inspiration will normally just give you 8% more damage to your companion. When you use a second one, that gets increased to 12%, and you use a third one, that's 14%. And any more than 3 does not stack. So right now we can get 14% more damage for our companion. But with Module 27 and the new Insignia bonus coming out, Warlord's Motivation, that is getting increased. You can see just one Warlord's Motivation is 12%. A second one is then 18%, and a third is then 22.5%. And I've tested, does this actually work? We can see that the damage values is equating to an exact increase as per the tooltip. Very nice. And we saw this pretty much the same with Warlord's Inspiration. But one thing to really note with this is that there is no point stacking Motivation with Inspiration. It basically overrides it. As soon as you have one motivation, you will not gain any benefit from any inspiration you have. If I have 2 inspiration and 1 motivation, it's the equivalent of just having 1 motivation. So the new Insignia bonus is going to directly replace the old one. There is 0 point having inspiration if you can have motivation. And there's no point having 1 motivation and multiple warlords, or 1 motivation and 1 warlords. They do not stack at all. The motivation will always just override any inspiration you have. So there is 0 point having this here at all. We just straight up switch to motivation. That is the direct upgrade. Getting any more than 3 does not stack. Now, is this something insane? What is going to happen to then my damage tests? You can see them all here. There's a link in the video description below where you can access my companion document. This is tested with Module 26. We'll probably do some retesting for Module 27, but it's unlikely anything has changed unless they state they're going to be changing companions. Now, things like the Green Scale Bowman, 41,000 encounter DPS. This again scales with your stats. All of the companions scale with the stats, so the more stats you have, all of them will deal more damage. So if you see somebody testing with over 90,000 item level with a lot higher stats than these, you will see, of course, an increase to the damage that you see here. But they all scale equally. So if one companion is going to do really well, so is everything else. Now, what does that mean for switching from Warlord's Inspiration to Motivation? Well, it's about an 8.5% increase to the companion's damage. So for example, the Green Scale Bowman will go from that 41,000 to about 44,500. So yeah, about an 8% increase. Again, all of the companions will get this increase, every single one on the list. So if you're looking for a companion that's pretty decent and you are using motivation instead of inspiration, you'll just see a slight increase. Again, that increase affects all your companions, just as it is if you increase your stats, so you increase your base damage, you are affecting all the companions. This is the comparison versus each other when you have the same stats, but regardless of your stats, the ratio between them will stay the same. There's no companion that is affected more by one stat than another, except 1 or 2 edge cases which cannot benefit from combat advantage or cannot critically hit with their power, things like that. So I just wanted to give some insights on that. Some people are going around saying it's insane, etc. It is not. It is a minor increase to the damage, and I would still say it's not going to be better going with, let's say, 3 motivations versus maybe only 2 or just even 1. Your companion's damage does not result in a lot compared to your own. At best, it's around 15%. That's kind of where they've balanced it at. This increase is not going to give it much more. I would still only recommend 2 Warlord motivations. Getting to the third one is just 4.5% increase. Scales a little oddly. You would think it would only be a 3% increase, But especially since now you're getting the new Insignia bonuses like Enchanter's Hex and Tacticians, you will definitely want to be squeezing those in along with your Executioner's Covenant. I'll cover the other Insignia bonuses more in depth in a later video. I just wanted to come out with this now because, well, I don't want you guys misinterpreting things. Just because you might see this guy do well, an increase to his damage via Warlords will result in an increase to everybody else's damage via that as well. He is great, but he's not a must-have. You can simply use your Bitiri, slightly less. You can still use your Black Death Scorpion, Tomb Spider, even a bit better than it. Honey Badger can even be even more better, especially these days with healers being able to heal companions a lot. And then Blaspheme Assassin can be particularly good in a long fight where she can maintain her bleed stacks. But with that said, hopefully this has been somewhat insightful to you guys, and we'll see you guys around. Bye for now.